So this is what you might encounter in the village of Saty. Lots of animals on the street, not only during night.
They live over there? We can. Hi guys!
Hey!
It's day 4 on our road trip around Almaty. As we said, we arrived yesterday in the town of Saty, where we spent the night. And this morning after breakfast we headed out to find marshrutkas. Is that how it's called?
Indeed, like shared vans basically. And you get a shared price then on them, and they're gonna take you here because the road is really bad. You have to cross the rivers 2 or 3 times. It's really wobbly, like you're gonna be bouncing around the van the whole time. So if you have a really good Jeep, apparently you can do it if you know what you're doing, but we didn't dare to. We have a Duster and it was like a crossover. So yeah, we opted for the marsrutka.
Yeah, because everything you want to see here is obviously in the mountains, and now we just went to Lake Kaindy. Kaindy,
yeah.
Yeah, and so indeed we took a marshrutka. We actually just halted people on the street, and we saw also like tourist-looking guys, and we just asked, "Oh, are you going to the lake? Can we come with?"
Indeed.
To get a shared price.
And we're on the way back now. It was really beautiful. You have to take a 40 to 45 minute hike up here.
Yeah.
It's not too steep, but it takes a little bit. But the views are magnificent. The lake is so pretty, so blue. The trees that are sticking inside there, so unreal. Like we've never seen something like that again.
So the lake is mainly known for these tree stumps that are still sticking out of the lake itself. So it has no leaves whatsoever anymore. And apparently they once burnt down, but they're still visible, and it gives like this really moody, because it was also a little bit gray.
Yeah, you're always gonna have clouds here. It's a mountain, so yeah, you better pack yourself well, because you never know how the weather's gonna be. It turned in a mere minutes. But indeed.
And so it gave a really moody vibe, seeing these like dead trees actually sticking out of the lake, and then the gray sky. But it had something really enchanting actually. And we came really early, which was a good thing.
You can also take a horse here. So they offer horseback riding. I mean, we're in Kazakhstan, so you can basically ride a horse, I think, everywhere. But yeah, they offer it here. And it costs 5,000 tenge, so $10 back and forth. Either you ride yourself, or you let somebody guide you. Go behind me.
We can pass you.
Yes. That's what we were talking about just right now. So most people take the horse.
Yeah. So we hiked 40 minutes.
We usually enjoy hiking. We like to just look at the surroundings and just be a little bit active, because we've been sitting a lot in the car, and just to do something active.
The only thing is, so the road is sandy and with a lot of horse shit. So we're dodging it the whole time now.
Yes, that means watch your step. And now we're gonna go back to the village.
Yeah.
And enjoy an afternoon actually.
So we're going back on our shared marshrutka, so minivan, and just price-wise they go always for 20,000 total, and then depending with how many people you are, you share the price. So we end up paying each 2,500 tenge, which is like €5, which is kind of fine.
Somebody offered us 15,000 for 2 people in a Jeep, but it's still a little bit steep, I think, for back and forth. For that, but yeah, that's how they make a living here, I guess.
And we bought a combined entrance ticket for this and for the Kolsay Lakes, which will we go tomorrow. And how much did you pay at the entrance?
It was like 3,800, so it is 1,900. Yeah, like around about 1,000 per day per person.
Yeah, which is €2. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Hi. This is our 5th and last day of our road trip around Almaty. We just had breakfast at our homestay where we stayed 2 nights.
Our homestay was quite basic, but you can expect that from a village like around here. It had good rooms, the food was really amazing. We tried some typical Kazakh dishes. We had bishbarmak and some other really interesting things we were eating. Not sure what they are all called.
We also had plov, right? The first evening.
Ah, yeah, plov it was. So we had plov, bishbarmak and something else as well. And yeah.
Food overall was very nice, and our room as well. So it was in a village called Saty, I believe it's called, and it's very rural. So when you go on the street, you have like goats running around, cows, even wild horses you could encounter. And we were like right around the corner from a mosque. So last night we still went for a little evening walk and just soaked up the surroundings a bit.
It really is a little village inside the mountain range. You can see the hills and everything else around it. It's super picturesque and pretty. Obviously, like we expected, it's very rural area of Kazakhstan. And we had to be very careful when we were driving here because we saw cows everywhere on the roads. We had to be super slow, it was dark already. And every few hundred meters there was a cow sitting just in the middle of the road, so it took us a while then to get here. So we arrived a little bit late. That's why we couldn't show you footage from the room anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But so now we're here on our last stop. We are at the Kolsay Lakes, which you can see behind us.
Yes.
It's a very popular spot in the weekend amongst people from Almaty who want to escape the city and who want to be in the nature a little bit. It's fairly accessible, definitely compared to Kaindy Lake where we were yesterday. You could just drive up here, there's a parking spot, and then you walk, what was it, 600 meters down?
No, it's like no 5 minutes, then you're already here. You have a very good view. You have a lot of viewing platforms and just areas to take pictures from. Obviously you can hike here if you wanted to, which would take around about 6 hours with a round trip to get to the second lake and back, so it takes a while. And you can also get boats, as you can see here. There's like some boats there, but at the moment the weather is not really lending itself for boats. Even though we do see now 2 of them there.
Oh yeah, they took off.
Yeah, in the distance.
Yeah.
You can see 2 boats. So yeah, just the weather is not like really playing it really, but it gives it something mystical, I guess.
Yeah, indeed. The clouds are hanging very low. It has a really moody feeling. But we don't really feel like it. We're also kind of tired. But yeah, things you can do here is obviously hiking. People love to picnic here, go for a boat ride. And there are in total 3 lakes. Most people only come to the first, sometimes the second if they're ambitious hikers. Yeah. And then the third one is actually already on the border to Kyrgyzstan, right?
Yeah, you have to be careful not to go over the border apparently. So that's also something to keep in mind, but it takes a long time to get there anyways, so.
So we're gonna take a look around and we might hit the road then. We're gonna head back to Almaty, and depending how we feel like, we might still make a stop along the road, and then we'll see you guys later in the city again. we said, we were on our way back now to Almaty, but along the road we decided to make a stop at the Black Canyon, which is close to Sharon Canyon where we went the other day. And you can just park along the road and then you have this magnificent view with a river in there. Quite wild. It's magnificent.